Salutations and good morrow everyone, and welcome back to another Grounded Update video, where today we're going to be talking about more of the weapons in Update 4.3, where we are going to be going over some of the things that are my favorite, how to make them, and also in this one some very specific weapons in the game that are currently hidden in the code that you need to use codes in order to actually unlock and bring into the game, which I have brought some of them into the game for you, i.e. as you just stop there, the mosquito needle and also the harpoon gun. But before we hop into that, I want to talk about some other ones that are technically in the code but are not able to be spawned into the game, for they will break the game. So let's talk about that right now. What is right over here in crafting, if we go to resources and we scroll all the way down here. Okay, so here we are right towards the end. Now, what I want to say about the two items I'm about to talk about, like I said, they are still in development. They are not able to be spawned into the game without crashing your game. But what it is the Clover Glider, which you guys have talked about before. You guys wanted another glider in the game. There is another glider coming to the game. It's not ready yet, but it will be here soon. It is going to act similar to the actual dandelion tuft that you use in order to float down, but it is actually going to allow you to glide further when you jump off of higher places. So it'll add into that need for having things that are, you know, built up high and have zip lines around and stuff like that. It'll be cool to jump off things and be able to fly. You know what I mean? And then the other one is invalid -1 game/items. Now, what I will tell you, in the code right now, this is, you know, here it says invalid game items, but what this actually is a boomerang. This boomerang still is broken and does not work. And if you spawn it into the game, it crashes your game every time. So don't try to do it. It is broken. Don't do it. Unless you want to lose progress. And that is how you would do it, because it breaks your game when you do it. So don't do that. But it is a cool weapon. It is coming to the game. It's not here yet. Hopefully it'll be here soon. But right now, that's what we got. Those are the current two hidden items I can't actually spawn in. And as for talking about another hidden item, we'll talk about these two in a little bit here. But before we hop into those, I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about hammers. Okay? Hammers to me are a very versatile item in the game. Very needed, but not for a while. And I'm going to tell you guys why. The only two hammers in the game that you need is an insect hammer and your mint mallet. Why is that? Because you need the insect mallet in order to get the mint mallet. The insect hammer, I should say, is a capable hammer building strong parts of bugs and is much stronger than the pebblet hammer. The stun is all the way up. You can see over here the stun on this one is almost all the way up, and the stun on this is actually a little bit lower than the stun on your insect hammer. But what I will say is that the damage on the mint mallet compared to the insect hammer, night and day. But the pebblet hammer, it's super easy to make. I don't technically use it unless you're looking for food in the beginning of the game and you want to break apart some acorns. Otherwise, I don't tend to use it. I tend to just kind of go take on the bugs in order to get it. But the pebblet hammer, 3 sprigs, 4 pebblets, 1 crude rope, super easy to make, super easy to get these items. Like I said in the other videos, that this is more of like a prestige item. You don't really need to make one of these. It's not really needed. But what is needed is your insect hammer. So you go over to Workbench Tools and your insect hammer. Now this is stink bug parts, buried leather, and a boiling gland. Now stink bugs, obviously got to kill stink bugs for it. And then boiling gland, those come from bombardier beetles. So you have to kill a bombardier beetle and stink bugs, 2 of them actually, in order to get these parts, because they'll drop a max of 3. So you need to kill 2 at least in order to get all the parts. But the bonus with killing stink bugs is you actually get the stink bug sacks, which will also help you guys make those gas arrows that I was showing you guys off in the previous video, which is super, super helpful. So go get those, go take out those guys. Not that hard, as long as you're wearing a gas mask and also you wear some stronger armor, because they do hit pretty hard. Stay at a distance, use your spears. There's your hints for the day. But these guys are pretty easy to make. Berry leather's kind of a pain in the nuts, but you can make that by just going over and shooting them down or hitting them with rocks and chopping them apart with an axe. So get yourself an insect hammer. Then you guys use these insect hammers in order to make yourself a mint mallet. You got to go over to the mints and you got to break them. Then you use some silk rope, mint chunks, and 8 flower petals. It used to be 4, now it's 8. Which flower petals kind of everywhere in the backyard. Just walk near a flower and you'll find it. It doesn't matter what color you pick up, because they all turn into this blue flower petal when you pick it up, and they all stack together. So easy to make. Get yourself this. It's a giant hammer crafted from pieces of the ice cap mints. Deals patented mouth-down fresh damage on hit. That doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't do anything to the bugs besides just do a crap load of damage to them when you hit it. I don't know what mouth-down fresh damage is, but it doesn't have a perk on or anything like that that makes it do any special damage, but it is one of my favorite weapons in the game, if not my favorite weapon in the game. Very closely rivaled now by the trident that I talked about in the first video, or the second video, I'm not sure. But what I will say is that this is a really, really good weapon. I use this for probably 200 hours of my gameplay. I've used this weapon. I love this weapon. I take on all of my spiders with it. I take on pretty much everything with this weapon. It's also versatile and allows you to break on quartzite and rocks, so you can make different things for your base. So this is just an all-around really, really, really good weapon. And I would suggest you guys make this one for sure. This is definitely my top 3 that I keep on my person at all times. So definitely make yourself one of these. It's not that hard to make. Getting into the mint container, all you got to do is punch the top of the mint container and then go in there and break the mints with your insect hammer, and then you have the parts that you require to make yourself a mint mallet. Silk rope, you literally can find almost every single piece of silk rope you need for your first mint mallet in the spider base, aka the hedge base. If you climb up there and you get into the storage room, or even just killing the spiderlings and then putting it onto a spindle, you guys can make this super easy. So this hammer is not hard to make, and definitely a game changer for all you guys who are stuck or having a hard time. Before we hop into the rest of the hidden stuff in the game, I want to give a quick shout out to Acorn Shovels and Acorn Shovel Plus. What I will say is that it is a good weapon in the game, and it is needed for getting all those bone parts, digging up grubs, getting the scales for the koi armor. All around really good, really helpful. Get yourself a shovel and keep it on you. They're just good things to have. Having yourself a battle shovel as well is never a bad thing either. Does a lot of stun damage, not a lot of damage or actual speed, but it does the trick. Get yourself a shovel. They're good. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the bombs. They're a really, really good little items to keep in your inventory as well. Kind of a pain in the nuts to make too, but all around, get yourself some bombs. They're good to have, especially if you do crowd control with ants or gnats or mites or larvae or spiders or ladybugs or anything really. Bombs are a huge help to that. It doesn't even say how much damage they do, but it really does do quite a significant amount. Crafting them is not hard either. It's 2 fungal growth, 1 ant egg, and 4 dry grass chunks. I mean, ant eggs are kind of hard to find, but if you wear ant armor, you can run through the ant hill without a problem, at least until the queen ant comes into the game. And then obviously fungal growth, you just go over into the poison area and kill a couple things, you'll get some fungal growth like it's no problem. Dry grass, pretty much pick it up anywhere in the game, so just go get you some. And then sticky bombs are an honorable mention as well. Web fiber and a bomb, brat burst I should say. But what I will say with this one is that this isn't technically in the game yet. You can spawn them in creative, so you guys can use them there, but they're not technically in the game yet. You got to wait a little bit longer for them to get added in. All right. Now we're going to switch over and we're going to talk about more of the hidden items that are in the game. And the first one I want to talk about is the mosquito needle. Okay, the mosquito needle is a very specific type of weapon, okay? The reason why it was not included in swords is because it's not really a sword, but then again, it's not a dagger, and it's also not a spear, but it acts like a spear. It's strange. It's actually a rapier, okay? It looks like a sword, but it handles like a spear. Okay, it looks like a sword, handles like a spear, which is why I was like, you know, we'll put it in the mystery items. It doesn't do a lot of damage. In fact, right now it's actually been brought down a lot. It's been nerfed, just like the good old Dragonfly Slayer. But what interests me about this weapon the most is it says it's a fast, deadly rapier that mimics the functionality of a mosquito's blood-sucking tool. So it makes me think that this weapon is going to get bleed damage on it. So when you poke something, it's going to get some sort of bleed/poison damage on it. Maybe you're going to get a skill that makes you like a vampire, so that way you can take on, take the blood of the bugs as your own health. That's something that could come from this as well. So very interested to see how the mosquito rapier gets, or the mosquito needle, I call it a rapier, but it's the mosquito needle. It gets added into the game and what sort of functionality it brings. It is another tier 3 weapon, just like your wonderful mint mallet. Okay, so Other tier 3 weapon, second one found, very nice, excited for it to come to the game, can't wait to see mosquitoes. I've seen them before in the game, their artwork is fantastic, their animations are almost ready to go. I'm assuming they just don't have what they need in order to have it in the game yet, so that's why it's not quite here yet. Hopefully soon though. And the last thing, guys, is the harpoon gun. A versatile range weapon, its unconventional firing mechanism allows it to be used underwater. And these are also the harpoons that go with them. There's also poison harpoons that go with them as well, but those break the game when you spawn them. So but the harpoon gun, it's been nerfed as well. You can't even look at it when I equipped it, because if I actually equip the thing, I'll show you it. You just hold a bag. See, you're literally just holding a bag. That's how you're going to end up holding it in the game. Before it wasn't broken, it would actually show you like holding it right here, but they've since broke it and made it so it just appears as a bag. It does technically fire the projectiles when you shoot it, but still looks dumb right now. This is what it will end up looking like in the actual game, with the little sack in the back and stuff. In order to craft these guys, it's not going to be that difficult to craft them. Let me find it here really quick. Workbench tools, you go on down here. Harpoon gun, you're going to need sprigs, a leech sack, and strider legs in order to make this guy. And no, that's not what it looks like. It's just the last thing that I clicked on. But leech sacks and strider legs, neither of those bugs are currently in the game, which is why I'm assuming they didn't add them to the game, actually, is because the harpoon gun wasn't done yet. It's like, well, what are you going to do with a leech sack if the harpoon gun's not done? There's no other need for a leech sack in the game. So, like I said, it's got to be something to do with this harpoon gun, and that it's just not ready yet. So it'll be in the game very soon. Like I said, there are actual harpoons that go with it as well, which are really, really cool, but not really needed at the moment, guys. But that is all of the weapons in the game. There are a couple other honorable mentions, like shields that are coming to the game. You're also going to get fist tools, like a power fist, but it's made out of bug parts and berry parts. Pretty cool weapons, just made for stunning, but like I said, can't spawn them in without breaking the game at the moment. So I'd love to go over those more in depth once they actually release. But guys, that is all the time I have for today. Make sure you guys like or dislike the video. If you guys didn't like the video, let me know in the comments. Also in the comments, let me know what your guys' favorite weapon that I showed off today was, because I'd like to know that so I can make up a video about the community's favorite weapons. Make sure you guys subscribe today, turn your bell notification too. Also, I know what you guys are here, that you guys are enjoying the videos, and I keep on making, you guys keep on watching them. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in the next one.